Hello Virgo, welcome to this reading. My name is Zane and we are going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Virgo for the week of May 9th. Now Virgo, do keep in mind this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Now Virgo, I do not offer personal readings, so if you do get a message from someone on any platform, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, or anywhere, that is not me, that's someone impersonating me. Please do keep that in mind. Please do not get scammed. So let's go ahead, Virgo, and see what we have going on here for you for this week of May 9th. Now, less than 50% of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed, and so if you've not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. All right, so let me make sure everything's in view, and then we'll get right into it here for you. All right, we'll go ahead and put this up here, and then we'll also take 3 Kipper cards to clarify as we go along. All right, I think that looks just about good enough to me. All right, so Virgo, definitely like what I see here. First and foremost, all 5 initial cards are minor arcana cards. Of course, if you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I always go through and clarify with more cards. We always move up the pyramid in this spread. But, you know, day-to-day situations happening here. I think events happening for you in this week. And I think this is primarily around like career and life, like general life, but also career situations in this week I think are important, and I think there are maybe developments happening in these areas. I definitely feel like some of you have been on the move, is what I'm hearing. Some of you have been on the move, and that may not literally mean a literal relocation, but it's like things are on the move for you, is what I hear. So in your overall message here in this middle card, you do have this Knight of Wands, so this makes sense. Knight of Wands is a card that comes forward almost always comes forward when you're ready to change residence or move location, change zip code. But in this case, you know, if you're not literally moving, in this case, it's like you're on the move. Okay, you're making moves, like you're making money moves, you're making career moves, you're making life moves. You're on the move. And you may even be exercising. Some of you may be doing exercise as well, by the way. Virgo, I wonder if some of you may be engaged in some type of health routine or exercise plan or something like that here. This could also say that you have a ton of talents. This is a jack of all trades energy. The Knight of Wands is a classic maverick in the tarot. They have so many different skills that they can bring to the table. And so I definitely could see that as well happening here with this 3 of Pentacles in the future, which we'll talk about more. But in the past, you have the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Swords. Page of Wands, Queen of Swords. So first 3 cards here are court cards, right? Court cards represent, or they can represent people. They could also represent aspects of yourself. Knights are events, and pages can be like news or situation happening in your life, and opportunities as well. And so it's like, right now, I feel like Virgo's been dealing with not only a lot of people, but there have been just like things have been on the move for you. Okay, there have been like a lot of things happening for you. Page of Wands can represent a job offer or a job opportunity. This is definitely the card you want to see if you've been putting in resumes, you've been putting in applications, you've been doing that sort of thing. It can definitely be good because it can represent an offer coming in. The Queen of Swords is somebody who has an intense focus on something, and they can use that focus to achieve great things. This is also somebody who, you know, if they have something to tell you, you should probably listen up, because they are definitely somebody who is capable of giving you straight up advice, like just very honest. This is the way it is. This is the way it's going. This is how it is. This is how it works. Wise counsel. Wise counsel is the way that you can maybe look at the Queen of Swords. And so it's like, you know, maybe you received a job here, or maybe some of you have been looking to, it's almost like maybe some of you have been through interviews and it's like somebody is like, okay, we really want to hire you, but there's also XYZ. Uh, or there's one thing that you need to do in order to get over the hump, and that could be what this Queen of Swords person is about. If this is not about another person, some of you have had an intense focus on making moves, on being on the move. I actually think that's probably more aligned with this reading. Some of you have had an intense focus towards change, and I think it's probably career change for some of you here. I think this has been a big factor for you. Now, in the future, you have the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. So the Three of Pentacles is your teammates, your teamwork, your team environment. It's working together with others to bring about a solution. There's a sense of community here, but it's really like your work brothers and sisters, your work community, your work colleagues, things like that. Things like that when you have the Three of Pentacles. And so it can be very good. It can also represent you being rewarded and recognized for all of your hard work, all of your energy and efforts. I do wonder if maybe there is somebody in the workplace that's annoying you a little bit here. You do have this Page of Swords and the Queen of Swords. Both cards in their detriment can be people who, first, they can be in their detriment, they can be people who are very challenging, very opinionated, and kind of hard to sway. If that makes sense. But they could also, in a more positive way, be people who are, focused, able to give you like wise counsel, have a lot of ideas, situations like that. And so it really depends here. I want to get more clarity on this, but I do feel like this Three of Pentacles, take note here. Actually, I just took note. 4 out of 5 cards are court cards. 2 of them are in the Wands suit, 2 of them are in the Page, are in the Swords suit. And you have the Three of Pentacles as the only other non-court card. This is about your teammates. This is about your colleagues. This is about the people you work with. Each one of these court cards here could be a colleague, or they could be somebody that you have to interact with on a day-to-day basis. With the Three of Pentacles, you figuring that out, or this being very much a part of this, okay? So this is very clear, actually, now that I'm looking at this. Let's move up the pyramid and start to clarify some more. So you have the Moon, you have the Six of Cups, Four of Pentacles, and you have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so we have one major arcana now out of 9 cards, which rarely happens. You have a weird feeling. You have a weird feeling about something. The Moon can represent something not being as it appears. It can represent something that's maybe murky, like murky water, something that's maybe subtle or just unsure in your life. But you have a weird feeling, or you have an unsure feeling about maybe something happening at work. And I think overall, the thing is, this has happened in the past. In the future, it looks a lot better. And I feel like some of you have just needed to get clear on something, maybe with a colleague. Like maybe this sees you like just pulling someone aside and saying, hey, are we good here? Like, what's going on here? Like, is everything okay between you and I, or this project or something? Like, it's almost like there's something that's in the dark, or there's something that's hidden here in the past. And you have this with the Six of Cups, which is the past. It talks about nostalgia. It talks about people from the past, but it can also ask you to stop to smell the roses. And the reality is that you can't always know the answer to things. And even as a reader, right? I don't have some like special code like within the universe that I can just dial to get the answer to everything. I can't do that, right? I can't completely see into the future. I'm really just reading energies, right? And so it's like nobody can really see into the future. It's like almost impossible. You can't know the answer to everything. And that Six of Cups, I feel like for some of you, it's like, okay, things are a little bit unclear right now. Okay, like what can I do with this information? Where can I, that's the situation, that's reality. How can I make the best of it? So, in the future, you have this Four of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. For some of you, you've maybe considered asking for a raise. You've maybe considered, you've maybe considered asking for a raise. You can see this person here is holding their pentacles close to their chest, indicating that they're maybe budgeting, planning, saving, or even concerned about losing the money they have. The Six of Pentacles can see money coming in, particularly if it was promised to you. The Six of Pentacles is like your kind of spiritual and material prosperity. It's not just about material prosperity, but it's also about you giving and receiving in balance. And so if you have given a lot to a workplace, if you've given a lot of energy to a workplace, I feel like some of you are like, okay, is it time for me to maybe approach this person about a raise? Or is it time for me to, follow up after I've maybe asked for one? Or, this money was promised to me, this raise was promised to me, this position was promised to me, where is it? And so I feel like maybe some of you are going through that right now. Let's go ahead and clarify here with these 3 Kipper cards. Okay, so journey, marriage, and family room. So this is not for everybody. This is specific for at least a couple people here. I don't know how many, but some of you are starting a family and you're concerned about being able to support your family financially. And so as a result, you've either begun looking for higher paying jobs or you have asked for a raise. Now, that's not for everybody. Okay, now for other people here, you feel like you're in it's almost like your workplace is like a family or a second family to you. There is a red flag if you are looking for jobs. There is a red flag that I should maybe warn you about, which is when employers say we're a family. If you're looking for a job and the employer says we're a family workplace or we're one big family, or if they use that key phrase, that can be a bit of a red flag for some people, okay? Because there needs to be like a healthy boundary between your colleagues and your work. And I do wonder if maybe some of you are dealing with, you all know what I mean. If you've been through interviews and everything, like this is a family, gosh, what is it called? This is a, I believe this is a family environment, or, in the interview, they'll say like, this is a family environment. I wonder if some of you are in that situation. Let's move up the pyramid here. You have the Two of Cups. You have the Queen of Wands. And you have the King of Cups. There's just so many people. There are so many people showing up here. You almost have all of the Wands court cards. And now you have this, with this Queen of Wands coming in, and you have this King of Cups here as well. Here's what I'll say. If you're not a good fit for where you are now in your workplace, you will find a place where there's a marriage of your skills and disciplines with somebody else's needs in the workplace. So, let's say you're a specialist in, you have a specialist knowledge in like loans, like you're a loan specialist. And there's a business that has that need. There's a marrying of skills and disciplines with needs. And, that's just an example, but it could be for anything. Like you're the best designer in this one little niche, and this business just so happens to need that skill, and you have it. And there's some sort of marrying of skills, disciplines, needs here showing up. If you're not already in that position, that's coming in for some of you, okay? And I do feel like, because we have this Two of Cups, which is about partnership, which in the workplace, this can mean a business partnership. This can mean a marriage of skills, talents, disciplines, needs. I also think, like I said, there is this storyline here where some of you are starting a family and you're like, okay, do we have enough? What's the plus minus here? Do we have enough to support this? And I feel like that's definitely on the cards. Let's see what else we have. You have the Tower, and you have the Fool. Getting a new start. It's actually a blessing in disguise for you. The Tower is a blessing in disguise. It's a way out of a challenging problem. The Fool is a powerful new journey. It's a powerful new start in your life. There could have been something here in the past that awakened you a little bit, and you're like, okay, and this may very well, for some of you, have been like, okay, now I have a family, like, I need to get going here. Like, it's time for me to maybe bring in some more or figure out what I need to do. yeah, I feel like maybe some of you have been that may have been the tower moment. Um, Remember, tower moments do not always have to be bad. They're just changes, they're shocks. They they always lead us to the star. They always lead us to something eventually that is better. And the Fool is something that's very, very good. It's the Fool's journey through the tarot. It's like a fun adventure into something new, and it's even connecting with your inner child. Let's see what's at the top of the pyramid. Yeah, you have the Death card. Major transformation happening for you. Wow, the Tower, the Fool, and the Death card in as the last three here. I always say the Fool for me is the most powerful card because it's the number one. It starts off all of the tarot, and you have that combined with the Tower and the Death card, which are about change, transformation, upheavals, big, big, big transformations here. Do not get stressed about those cards. The Death card is not about death and dying. It's about transformations. Transformations are very important, and they can bring very good things into our life. You also here have the Ten of Cups. Yeah, for many of you, this is about family potentially, but the Ten of Cups, if it's not about family, this is about just your happiness and allowing all of your cups to overflow and to spill and to enjoy the euphoria and to enjoy the good times, and maybe figuring out how to make that happen for you materially as well at this time. So this is an incredible reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. Really appreciate you. I'll see you in the next reading.